I grew up in the sort of suburbs of the Lower Mainland, not on our reserve. We moved back to the community when I was a teenager, and I was the first to graduate high school in the community in over 20 years. And so I went to college, and I felt all this pressure that I should do something, and I had no idea what to do. So I ended up focusing on my community. Then I started researching about Aboriginal rights and title and the history of colonization in Canada. And that's when my social and political consciousness woke up. When I learned about the comprehensive land claim process, I approached our chief of the day, and I told him if we ever got a land claim going, I'd be interested in helping out. And he co-opted me on the spot. So when I was 20, I became a land claims researcher. And then my evolution within the organization went from there. And then when I was 28, I became the chief and chief negotiator. So then I started actively being the person negotiating on Tsawwassen's behalf for the agreement. It was an anomaly in that most people don't expect a young woman to be a chief or a negotiator. So I did not fit the stereotype in most people's head. You know, the negotiations took about 12 years, I think. And so with every stage of the treaty process, we got feedback from the community, and it was a long, consistent, persistent discussion. The ballot count at the community and hearing that it passed was one of life's memorable moments, and everything sort of tied into that. Obviously, I'm extremely proud of my children as well, right? And they came along at certain key milestones of the treaty. My oldest came at the agreement in principle. My second girl came 3 days after we initialed the final agreement. And my third daughter came about 3 weeks after the effective date of the treaty. And so she's the first Tsawwassen child born free of the Indian Act. So all those make extremely personal. And the fact that when the provincial legislature introduced the settlement legislation and to welcome my community, they opened the big front doors of the building up the long set of stairs where usually only the premier or a prime minister is supposed to go through. So it was a symbolic gesture, but important, I think. And so I got to lead my community holding my oldest daughter's hand up those stairs. It's not so much lofty goals of reconciliation that motivated me, but more real needs to have autonomy to make decisions for ourselves. And most of my community really believe in a vision of Canada that will treat First Nations honorably and resolve these issues. That being said, I don't think our agreement's perfect or anything like that, but I think it gives us enough tools to take control of our lives.